Hello. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's not the afternoon. Do you know what I really wish I could be? Is comfortable. Well, that's a luxury that you can't afford. Because by the time I set the mic up and a camera, gotta pay to see this shit. You can't. I can't move. Or what are you planning on? A little disco? No, I would like to move my chair, but it's going to make an almighty noise. Oh, God, that did make a big noise. Okay, you're better now. I am a bit better now. Because then what can happen? You see what's important, Monkey? Oh, yes, everything's very important. Oh, my God, I just pulled the fucking up. I've just broken the chair. Nina's broken the chair now. What does that tell you, Nina? Okay, we're going to have to fix this. Oh, God, this is really ridiculous. I am plugged in by headphones into the computer and I fucking broke the chair. Well, it has been coming undone for some time. It's not because now I'm going to have to put this chair... Oh, this is a fucking joke. Oh, fuck. Sorry, everyone. Oh, no. The cushion's falling out of the chair. This is bullshit. Telling me it's bullshit. This is not how anyone wants to start things. It's got like three prong things that have to go in holes. Telling me. It belonged to my grandma on the Italian side. You know, they're like nice things. Look at it. Look at this now. So why isn't it going in? Ah! There, I got it in. She got it in. 3 smacks of the hand. Fuck's sake. Alright, put the cushions back on. Most people have producers, off menu. James A. Castor and Ed Gamble. Do you remember you went to a studio? I did. You went to a studio and there was someone monitoring all this shit. But no, you want to do it cheap and lonely. I do. Cheap and lonely, that's how she likes it. Just like she likes her sex. Okay, I think I'm ready. Cheap and lonely. I think that's what we should call this episode. Nina and Monkey are chewing the fat and shooting the shit till it's dead. The whole point of me moving the chair was I wanted to get the arm of the chair near enough so that you, Monkey, can rest like my elbow. You need to rest your elbow. Elbow deep in my hole, that's what I like to call it. Just adjusting the mic one final time and then I really think we're settled. Jesus Christ. We just did a whole clown show that no one could see. Well, hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to episode 5. Episode 5. I'm glad to be alive, except I'm not really alive. I'm vicariously alive. How's your vicarious life been this week? Oh, I did quite a lot. I went to Zurich and did a corporate. Yes, we did a corporate in Zurich this week in... It's something that we do. It's something that Nina has a little internal battle about because, feels like a whore doing it for the money and all of that. And no one there has paid to see you. No, only the client. The customers, as it were, the people who work for the company. They don't know why you're on. They didn't bank on that. No, they had no choice in the matter. And that, is, I guess, is what makes corporates always a little bit more difficult than normal gigs. Yeah, it is a harder start when no one chose to come and see you. Very much a harder start. So this one, I remember it, I was there. So we arrive in Zurich. It's a fancy fucking hotel. It's a very fancy little hotel. Little, huge, on a mountaintop. And it's not the kind of place that Nina would ever pay to go to. No, she's too cheap. She likes it cheap. But I do get to stay in fancy hotels sometimes when we do corporates. And this one, who was the client? Well, I probably shouldn't discuss who the client was. Why? Because they got blood on their hands? No, nothing like that. But I don't think I should mention the actual company, should I? I'm full of agonising. What's the matter? I'm full of agonising now. It may be that I've just cut a bit Obviously, you can't hear it, but I've got a problem in my head of like, I'm going to say something that I'm going to have to edit out. Well, you're really talking to the wrong guy to give a shit about that. I really am, I know, because you just want to say it. I just want to say it. It's not like you said anything bad. I didn't say anything bad. But it's a very unpleasant place for the mind. Well, you're in control, Nina. Can I just assure you, you get to edit this? I know, but I'm trying not to edit it. Yeah, but that's important to remember because it gives you freedom and joy and fluid movement of the synapses. All right, okay. I want large thoughts, I want large, fresh thoughts from you, dropping like doggle yolks, walloping out of the hen. I'll do my best. I want luscious, fresh thoughts, Nina, fat with meaning. I will do my bloody best, monkey, but I'm feeling a little dry this morning. Use a little Vaseline, then rub it on your mind. What I want to do is, so anyway, back to the corporate. I went to this corporate. She was in Zurich, in a very fancy hotel. And I had a little bit of time before the corporate, so she went to the spa. I went down to the spa. I didn't want to swim. I didn't want to get hot in a sauna. I didn't want to, what was the other thing? Well, there were jacuzzis everywhere. There were lots of jacuzzis and stuff, but I thought if I do that, my body's going to want to sleep. You're going to get all kind of hot and tired. Yeah, so I avoided those things, but that left very little. But I tell you what there was. It was a bath. It wasn't any ordinary bath. It was these tiny little stones, apparently they're from a Japanese volcano. Apparently so. Little black stones that you get into and they're heated from beneath. You'd never seen anything like this. So I was really excited about that and I got in, but had a false bottom. Not just yours. Nina lowered her own false bottom into its false bottom. Well, it's hard to say bottom. Can we say arse? Yes, I had a false arse. When I got in to this thing, it has a false layer. So it's not a deep bath. It's basically a shallow bath. So you can't get under these stones. What you can do is you can lie on top of them. Yeah, which is what she did. So I lay on top of these little obsidian-like stones from a Japanese volcano. And tell me the effect of such a thing. Well, it was lovely. If you could slide down a sort of an inch below them, then it held your hand or your feet. Those were the bits I could submerge. She couldn't submerge the whole arse. She tried, but her false bottom was far too heavy and large to get underneath all of it. Well, I shimmied in as best I could. I mean, the sound of it, honestly. But then I had to lie on them. So I lay on these obsidian stones, and this was in the run-up to the corporate gig, and I kind of tried to enjoy it. I don't think that's high praise, when you have to try to enjoy it. It wasn't easy, because I spent the whole time thinking, well, why do they have so many of these if they've only got so many stones? Why don't they have like a couple that are full of stones instead of like 8 or whatever it was that were shallow? Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't suppose you're going to get in all the way. But that to me was definitely the fun part. Anyway, this is my feedback. You're going to write that on Google. No, I'm not going to give any feedback. But so anyway, that was what happened next in the gig. Well, then I had to get ready in the gig, and Nina doesn't like this part of the day. This is where she gets really dismal and depressed. Well, it's actually quite hard to keep cheery on the way to doing a corporate gig. Not only do you feel your Christ on your head, I mean, you really do, don't you? Think I'm not worth this. Well, I don't tend to think about that so much. It's just like, I don't ever like how I look in my dress, or here we go. And there's something quite difficult about getting dressed up. Or let's go in deep then, what is it that you don't like about getting dressed up? Well, I think the onus is, to look your best. And this is an unsatisfiable quest, is it? Yeah, because, you're just well, I don't know. It's obviously not my I never look my best, am I? Oh, you can look okay. Anyway, I do tend to fixate on that before a gig. It's weird. It's like, it's a misguided anxiety. It's a misdirection of your anxiety. But the real fear is that they won't laugh. And that is a real fear of mine as well. Because then you have to do your time. In this case, it was, I think, 25 to 30 minutes. Is that right? Yeah. If they're not laughing, doing your time, it was a nightmare. Oh, God, I have looked at you on stage in the past in absolute panic at these moments. It's funny, I do look to you for comfort. She looks at me and I look at her, except I'm not looking at her. All that's happening here is I'm facing her because she's turned her hand to the left. Yeah, I turn my hand to the left. I look at you and I don't look at you. I stare blankly without any optic nerve. And that's when I realise you're really not there to help me. I'm not there at all, Nina, just an illusion is what I am. And that can lead into some kind of internal spiral while she's on the stage at the corporate and everyone's clinking their little forks. And I'm looking at you having an existential crisis. And then we have to keep it going. We've got to do our time. We've got to do 25 minutes or 30 minutes, or you won't get paid. And that's why we're here. That's why we're in Switzerland. So it better be that we save this, So this is the fear. This is the fear. And there's also the fear that this is an international crowd, so they might not understand an English-talking monkey. They might not. So you've got to be funny physically as well. Well, what does that mean? I mean, it's very basic, my movements. I can't lift my arms or anything. I can only look right to left. There's no. Oh, Nina, I got stuck in a vowel. You got very stuck in a vowel. There's not a lot I can do, is what I was going to say. Yeah, I turned into, what's her name? Not Cyndi Lauper. No, the other redhead. Cilla Black. Cilla Black is her name. Cilla Black, yeah. The point is, I'm trying to not panic, because panic makes you less funny. Yeah, panic. When you panic, I tend not to say anything. I start saying my oldest jokes. Yeah, I start going back to the very first joke I ever said on stage 22 years ago. I know, I remember I did that. So I went on, oh God, I shouldn't say this, you'll never get employed again. I shouldn't really, but I mean, the thing is, the gig was fine. The gig was good, actually. It's fucking great, in fact. I think they loved it. They loved it in the end, so it was fine. I'm just explaining what goes through my head. So I get on stage. I'm worried about them not speaking English. They're lit blue. Yeah, that was a different choice. I mean, the audience was lit blue like a refrigerator. Yeah, it was like ice cold, literally ice cold. The lighting was cold. And they don't know it's going to be you and me. And the other thing, the lady was saying, no one knows you're coming. They're going to be so surprised. Yeah, and all I was thinking was they won't know me. They won't be surprised at all. But they kept you as a surprise, Nina. So I didn't know, like, if I was going to be revealed, like, surprise. And everyone's like, who the hell's that? No one knows. Anyway, I'm just telling you this so that you can understand the different levels of fear. What are you looking for, Kitty? No, I thought it might be fun to break this down. So we walk on, you walk on your own. I walk on, you're in the bag, and see all these blue men in penguin suits. Yes, and it feels like the Arctic. And I say, oh, this was a lovely occasion, and let me get the monkey out my bag. And then I turn up. And then you are worried about your pronunciation. I'm very keen that you enunciate, because this is a very international crowd. And so I start talking, and Nina reaches for the oldest joke in the book, which is, we can do it now. I say, so monkey, why did the monkey cross the road? And then I say, because he saw you standing behind him, rolling up your sleeve. Now, when I'm in trouble and I'm at a corporate, that joke comes out. Now, that's an old one. That's like 20 years old, that one, isn't it? We tend not to write jokes. No, Nina doesn't write a lot of jokes. Although I did actually write a knock-knock joke the other day. Okay, let's do it. But you have to know already the context of this joke is there's a Japanese concept called harahashibu. That means you stop eating when you're 3/4 full. So this is the joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? Harahashi. Oh, no, hang on. Oh, she thumped it already. I'm ready. Knock, knock. No, you do the knock, knock, actually. Okay, I'll do the knock, knock. Knock, knock. Who's there? Harahashi who? Harahashi boo-hoo. Oh, dear, why are you crying? Did you eat too much? That's the joke. That's it. That's the joke. Do you like it? We don't often write jokes. Anyway, back to the corporate. I don't think we'll ever get to the end of this story. Well, the problem is there isn't an end. It's just when we peter out and stop talking about it. The room that they put you in doesn't really help. No, the room doesn't help because it was like a room next to the kitchen. It's like it's not a normal room. No, it's a liminal space. It isn't fit for comfort. It's where they have things that they don't use very often, I think, like extra sets of cutlery and that kind of thing. Yeah, and it's got a kind of greasy tile floor. Yes, and they've put a chair there. There's a chair there, and there's a coffee if you're lucky. But it's a funny little room to sit in, not like a dressing room. There's no lights, there's no mirror or anything. You just have to sit there with the cutlery, with the forks, and you have to think about your life choices. So then we sit in there, and then the client comes and they say, don't pick on this person. And then I instantly think, well, I ought to. I want to pick on the one that you say don't. But they often offer up somebody who's like an eccentric, and that's not actually where the joy lies. Because when an eccentric goes on stage, sometimes the audience hunch in disapproval and think, oh, dickhead, get off. And they stop laughing. So really what we're looking for is somebody a bit more relatable. Did you nearly say normal? Well, just somebody, with a relatable level of extroversion. So that's what works. So you get told who to get. Yeah, and I always worry they're going to be like the office clown and it's going to be really hard. But in this case, that's not what happened. No, in this case, I just went for these two ladies and they were lovely, actually. It's just that even when they go well, which they do tend to do, there's no talking to you beforehand. You've plummeted into the depths of despair. It's very difficult before you go to be kind of buoyant, yeah. But underneath, I kind of know it's going to be all right. But yeah, not when you were lying in the obsidian bath. No, I felt drained. I started to wonder whether these little stones were radioactive because I felt so bad. She really started to kind of glow in the dark with despair and doom. Yeah, I did. I thought, and then I had to get out. I thought, I've got to get out of this bath. And then later, you pull your pants down and all the little stones fell out your arse crack like you were some kind of rabbit. Okay, monkey, don't humiliate me like that. Well, it was hilarious. You took them with you, the stones. Oh, my God. I mean, and then you have to think about what you were lying down in that bath was everyone else's arse stones. I guess so. She took a bath in arse stones from a Japanese volcano. Now tell me, what the hell's the point of that? It's a picture of us at medieval times. Medieval times, now we're talking. We went to medieval times, when we were in California, medieval times. And it was kind of exciting. Yeah, it was kind of with the flagons that you're going to drink with. It's like a dining experience where people joust. These people run at each other with jousting on these horses. And you sit in long rows and they bring you like a turkey leg or something. Yeah, and there's like no cutlery really. I think you're just like eating with your hands. You've got a flagon, except my flagon was a bit boring. It was Diet Coke flagon. Yeah, it should have been lager, but those days are over. Anyway, I had my Diet Coke flagon, and we're at medieval times. We were excited and we're all there. We got our stupid hats on. They give you flags. You're supposed to wave the flag. I think we were white, red, blue, I can't remember what it was, but you wave, you've got a team. And then it starts, and the king and queen come out, and that's always, I don't know, there's nothing always about it. We've never been before. No, the king and queen come out, and that's really depressing. Why? Well, because you just worry about them as actors trying to get their equity or their SAG membership or whatever it is. It's not really the theatre they dreamt to be in. No, but they have lines, they have sort of headset mics that Anyway, I wasn't expecting that. We weren't expecting a king and queen. They come out and then they do sort of, oh, it's going to be a fine night. And it's kind of like that, oh, well, what have we got today, Lady Queen? Was that an American accent, Monkey? I've never heard you do that. No, I never tried it before. How did it go? It wasn't really American. I was nervous that if I put an American accent on, it wouldn't be like me anymore. You're quite right. It wouldn't. Anyway, so they come out, and they're dressed up. They're in a sort of balcony. They're on top of everyone, and we're in long rows either side. And they do a little bit of shoddy acting and a little shoddy welcome to this, back in time kind of place. And then what happens before the jousting is they bring out these horses who are still pretty excited. Yeah, I mean, I'm cheering for the king and queen or whatever. It's still, it's exciting. And I've got my flag and a Diet Coke. But then they start conging out the horses. Yeah, the horses come out. They've got their tails and plaits. Yeah, they've been primped a bit. They've been fluffed up a bit. And they do this hoppy walk. The most depressing thing I've ever seen. They had their bits in their mouths. They were tugging so tightly on their mouths. And then I suddenly had that SeaWorld feeling like, what am I contributing to? Why are we here? Oh, God, what have we done? We've done animal abuse. That was the thing. So that was a crashing feeling. But, we still want to kind of keep the joy up. But I gave a look to my partner, past my son, like, oh dear, this is sad. It was terribly sad. And so then I'm still sort of waving my flag, but her heart is breaking for the look at these bits in their mouths and this stupid hoppy walk. I think you'll call that dressage, is it? I don't really know what it is. It's not a natural way for a horse to move. That's the thing. It really didn't look natural. It looked fucking painful, to be honest. I didn't like it either. Oh, God. I mean, honestly, actually, in medieval times, I'm not sure horses had a better life in the actual medieval times. You not think? No, I reckon not. I reckon they didn't, never ever been well treated in the history of man. Not true. I'm sure some of them were well treated. I mean, I suppose in the medieval times, we're going to do a history now. It was before cars, horses were very important. Maybe they did treat them right. They'd had to rely on them, that's for sure. But they were always probably getting roped into battle, actual battle. Anyway, so then they did do jousting, and it was fake. It was fake. And then you realise, well, of course it's fake jousting. They can't be doing actual jousting, can they? No one wants to see actual death while they're sipping their flagon of Diet Coke. It wasn't actually fun. It was kind of long. Also, I had the vegetarian meal. You had like a bean stew. It was the same as the soup. It turned out they reserved the soup as a bean stew. So it was kind of the same thing, but with two different names. The difference with the stew was there was potatoes in it. Yeah, but it was the same soup that you just had. Yeah. And it wasn't even a very fizzy Diet Coke, was it? It was lacking in flavour. It was actually. It was sort of made maybe with a soda stream, but not enough of the syrup. Nina got a soda stream for her birthday, didn't you? Yeah, I got a soda stream for my birthday. It was really exciting. Now I have never-ending sparkling water. All the simple joys of sobriety. It's good, though. It's good having sparkling water. It's very good. I'm quite curious whether the actual carrying mountain or whatever it is dried up, or if they're just using a soda stream over there as well. Anyway, so medieval times, that was it. I mean, I think you kind of sold it. I don't think they're going to queue up to be your sponsor or anything, but they kind of, You didn't have an altogether bad time. No, I didn't. It's just like any sort of party sort of thing can often suddenly feel like, oh, it's not kind of what I expected. All right, so it's time for the song, Monkey. Trying to play the song and record the song at the same time from the computer. Yeah, let's see how that goes. So you ready? I think so. I think I'm ready. Can you hear that? I think so. I hope it's still recording. Here we go. Let's hope. We'll just go for it. Here I am. Here, what does it? It makes me think of the Alps, the Swiss Alps, and how lovely it is to lie in obsidian, in a shallow bath that won't cover my arse. And I try to dig my heels into the stones, yet no depth can be found, only my arse on the ground, full of stones. Get your arse stones here, everyone. Come here and enjoy the fun to the Swiss Alps, where the stones do warm gently in a shallow bath. And soon you got to do a corporate gig and make the insurance company laugh, even though you want to cry alone in stones. Did you hear? There's a little noise. Someone joined in. Well done, Monkey. I call that achieved. Thank you, Nina. Thank you. That's nice. Yeah, it was nice. The thing I like about this, actually, I must say, is not wearing headphones. I really do feel, I'm back in the room. This is normal. No wonder I don't feel normal when we do these. It's because I'm listening to myself here. It's too much. It's too self-conscious making. It's far too self-conscious making. Anyway, the exciting news, we got a dance track for the film. There's a bit in the film where there's a song, and this song is called The Whole Song, and it was improvised. It was no plan. It wasn't in the script. It was something that happened, and it was really fun. And so Christoph Bauschinger, who wrote the soundtrack for the film, Sunlight, this is Nina directed Sunlight, is coming out in it. Christoph Bauschinger wrote the music for this, and he has written a dance track for the song Holes. It's incredible. It's so dancey. That's what a dance track is meant to be. But it is so dancey. I just want to dance. I want to dance when I hear it. It's so exciting. So I've got to go and cut the video for that now. Well, good luck, Nina. Good luck with all that. And so look out for the whole song. I'll be posting it on my socials. She's going to post it on her socials, on my social media, soon. As soon as I've edited it. It's very exciting. And the film is coming out soon. The film is coming out on the 18th, I think is the first outing of October. So do come along and see that. It's all on my Comey. Comey is what Nina uses as her website. And do remember, if you fancy looking at any of this, if Nina didn't wash her hair in vain, you can become a member of our YouTube. I think it's $2.99 a month or something. Obviously, you can get the fuck out whenever you want. It doesn't have to be forever, please God. You can watch it. But that's not the thing. That's not the medium. This is a vocal medium. It's a vocal medium. It was lovely. Thank you today for coming. You didn't come. You stayed. We came. No one came. God, what terrible sex he's had. I think it's time to say goodbye. Anyway, thank you for listening, was my point. And have a great week. Do have a fantastic week. The September week, start of the new term, start of the new project. Why not get a notepad and head to a cafe? Think about doing something you haven't done in a while or ever. Yeah, good luck with that. Lots of love. See you next time. You didn't open your mouth. Oh, fuck. See you next time.